Welcome to the Novel Network podcast. Tonight we have the one, the only Karen Eisenbray. We love to talk to editors, authors, narrators about the writing journey. And tonight, how many books do you have to your name there, Karen?
7 now.
7. Very nice. And you've been publishing for how long?
Oh gosh, my first novel was published in 2016. So what is that, 9 years now?
Okay, almost a
9.
decade. Nice.
That's
Very
so nice.
good.
What do you write?
Mostly fantasy with a little bit of superhero and a little bit of sci-fi as well.
Yeah, I believe you and I have a kinship with that, the superhero stuff.
We sure do.
We do. I haven't read your books yet, but I know you've read pretty much all my books so far, even through to the Dino Riff series.
I have read all of them, yeah.
Yeah. I got to jump on yours. So tell us more about the first book that started off it is a whole series, right?
Yeah, well, it's a duology at this point, but I'm working on a third book. My first book was The Gospel According to Saint Rage, which is a garage rock superhero mashup. It's a teen comedy. It's a sweary teen comedy, but it's a teen comedy.
Sweary.
Nice.
About an invisible girl who discovers that if she wears a hat, she's visible, and that gives her enough confidence to start a band with one of her classmates. And along the way, she starts developing goofy superpowers.
Oh, fun.
That's super cool. This is the second rock band author we've had on.
That's right.
So that's so cool.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of Cole Chase, Karen?
I haven't, but now I have.
Now you have. Yeah, it's basically what we just had him on not too long ago, but it was basically a band that the band was their cover, but then they're pulling heists kind of behind the scenes.
Oh, so they're criminals instead of being superheroes.
Yeah.
Nice
good.
balance.
Yeah. So did you start writing when you were, like, say, a kid, or, at what point of your life did you actually start to really love writing?
I started liking it as a kid. I didn't really do it that much, but I liked it if it was assigned in school. I finally got around to writing something that wasn't assigned when I was in high school and thought, oh yeah, this is what I'm going to do. And then as a young adult realized, yeah, but what would I write about? And I didn't have any idea. So I kind of put it on the back burner until I was an actual adult and realized, oh, you know what? I feel like writing something. I still don't have any ideas. So I'm just going to take the thing I can think of and start writing. And I managed to come up with a few short stories, and before long I had an idea for a fantasy novel, and now I haven't looked back.
So you say when you became an adult. I mean, I feel like personally I haven't even become an adult yet, and I'm 36.
That's about how old
I think we all have that inner
mid-30s.
child, though, right?
But I had, I mean, life is no fun if you don't have the inner child to go, ooh, that's what I wanted to have read when I was 15.
Yeah.
So There I was, 35, 36, 37, and starting to go, okay, now I'm finally going to do the thing I wanted to be doing when I was in my teens and 20s.
Perfect. Nice. How long did it take you to write your first
fantasy
book?
novel? It took me about a year to draft it. And then another 24 to get it right. My newest release is my oldest project.
Wow.
Okay. Wow. A labor of love.
So you released other books
because
before
I
your
did
first
not
book.
know what I was doing. Oh yeah. My first book that was published, The Gospel According to Saint Rage, was the 10th one I wrote.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. Most of the other 9 before that either have now finally been published or will be in the near future. There's a couple of them that I'm not sure what I'm going to do with. But most of the rest of them are now in shape. But I had to do a lot of other writing and then go back to them.
And you're hoping that the other books don't take 24 years, right?
They won't. What I decided, I'm going to go back and get that first book in shape and then get the rest of the series in shape. I had what I think was a very good idea to finish the whole series before any of them were published. So
that's a great idea.
So the whole series is written, and I am in final edits for book 3, and I have gotten beta feedback for book 4, and so then I just need to kind of polish up book 5, but it's already in good shape. The first book needed the most work. Yeah, it's a 5-book series. It's a trilogy with these little interludes.
Okay.
So book 1, 3, and 5 could be read as a trilogy. Book 2 and book 4 could stand alone, but they also chronologically slot right in there. But they're about different characters. So they have different main characters from the main trilogy. They're like the side characters, and the friends of the main characters get to step into the spotlight. But they're very focused little romantasy stories. Whereas the main trilogy is more of wizard quest kind of tales.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
So
when do you want to have it out and published by?
Is called A Quest for Hidden Things. So it's a quest book. This book came out in April. Book 2 is coming out in probably September. That one's called Deep River Rising. And then we're hoping to get books 3 and 4 out next year, and book 5 the year after.
That's a good pace.
Okay. Yeah.
And that was one reason.
For like a that was one reason
to try to get them all pretty much written so they could come out and people wouldn't have to wait. Because I know how that is. You read a book and you really like it and you want to know, well, what happens next? And then you have to wait 5 or 10 years. And I didn't want to do that.
Yeah. As long as you're not like Patrick Rothfuss or, who's that other author? It's been like 8 or 10 years or something. He's like a really big.
Yeah.
Oh, George R.R. Martin. who will probably.
George, that's the. Yeah.
I don't think he'll ever finish.
No. I'm happy if I can get a book out a year. I mean, I know I had my 2-year hiatus of burnout, but hopefully that's the longest I'll have between books.
Yeah. A book a year is what I go for at the moment. I don't know. My next series, I'm thinking about when I finish this one in like 4 years to do what you did, Karen, which is write them all and then release them. So I don't have so long a wait in between.
Yeah. I'm sort of planning a future trilogy and thinking, gee, maybe I should do this again. The first book is drafted. And the second and third books, I have ideas. And I haven't written anything yet. But I'm thinking, yeah, it might be a good idea to maybe even write those 2 at the same time so that I can put in the foreshadowing and if I have a great idea in the third book, it's like, oh, maybe I could introduce that all the way back in the first book and it'll make me look like I'm a lot smarter than I am.
Yeah. So what inspired you to
But I
write
gotta
your
finish
first
this
book?
one first.
Yeah.
A literal dream.
Okay.
I
hear a lot of authors that are inspired by their dreams.
Yeah, and this has only happened once. And it was really short, but there were wizards in it. And I had, like how you have in dreams, you know a lot of the backstory without it ever actually happening in the dream. And it was vivid enough that I remembered when I woke up and I told my husband about it. And he said, that sounds like a scene from a fantasy novel. And I thought, you're right. But oh no, it's from late in a fantasy novel. So I have to figure out, how did they get here and then what? But somehow that little 5-second dream with all of its little plot twists has turned into a 5-book series and a sequel trilogy and probably an additional sequel trilogy at the very least. And,
wow.
and
From one
a
dream.
handful of short stories.
That's crazy.
That's so cool.
Yeah, wow.
And I thought I was writing
it's crazy
a standalone.
how inspiration hits.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know what I was doing.
That happened to me with Dino Riff. Yeah. So you mentioned your husband had something to say about that. Does he have, or does your family in general also have anything to do with your books, like helping you out in any way?
Yeah, my husband and my sister are both part of my beta reader team.
Oh, perfect.
And are very helpful. Everybody in that group brings something different, which I really appreciate. So some people will just be able to read it and say, yeah, this feels like a finished story. And I really liked this part and I want more of that part. And other people are more structural. They can say, this is happening too soon, or you need to build this up more so it has the right impact. And other people are just really good proofreaders, and they will catch all the silly, dumb typos that I can't see anymore.
Yeah, I've been talking with a beta and ARC reader lately, and she said she's reading a traditional book where so many F's are missing in words.
What?
And it's like, of all the letters, she goes, I cannot believe how many F's are missing in like the word efficient. There's one F and also missing an I. Or there's like Inger, like it's missing again the F for finger. Like, and now I'm like, this is a traditional written book.
Somebody's keyboard has a sticky key.
Yeah, I wondered. Yeah, I made the joke. Well, I guess the editor just didn't give an F.
Yeah, of all the letters to be missing.
Oh man, yeah. But you know that it's nice your family supports you like that. You know, we've talked to other authors about, you know, sometimes you have family members that really don't care, or then you have the wonderful family that you have that are willing to help you with beta and ARC reading. That's awesome.
I really appreciate it. I see so many people on social media talking about, oh, my family doesn't even know I write, or I don't want them to know.
I couldn't imagine.
They know, but they don't care. Or they keep telling me I should quit. And I'm just like, ugh. That's not, that is not the way to be family.
No. That's like red flag 101.
Yeah. Yeah. Meanwhile, there's some spouses that send their writer spouse off to like a hotel to just write for a weekend. That happened to Libby.
My husband does that when I'm on a deadline and life and the kids. He just will book me a hotel room and tell me not to come home for like 2 or 3 days. He also builds me studios when he decides.
Looks great, by the way.
Thank you.
Love
it. He is so supportive. Like, best husband ever.
Nice. Do you write always in the same genre, Karen? Or is there any genre that you've kind of wanted to dive into?
For now, it seems like everything I write is speculative. If the Gospel According to Saint Rage started as a short story that didn't have superpowers or anything unusual in it, but that didn't last. As soon as I started turning it into a novel, it was like, yeah, this is going to be a superhero story.
Sweet.
So even if I try to write something that's just straight contemporary or literary or whatever, something impossible will show up.
Right. And for those who don't know, we did try to record with Karen once before. We had some technical difficulties. I remember you mentioned last time that you also have some musical background. And I believe you mentioned that it also had a lot of influence on why there's the band in your series.
Yeah. I come from a musical family. My mom was a really good singer, and she was our choir director. And my brother was a good piano player. And then when he was 24, 25, he taught himself to play the guitar. And I had a set of drums and I could kind of play them. And so that summer we were We were a band in our own living room. And this was in a little town in the middle of nowhere. And we didn't have any equipment beyond an acoustic guitar and a set of drums. So we weren't going to be going out and playing anywhere. We couldn't really record, but it was so much fun. So then 30 years later.
That's the best, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, 30 years later, he's working at, it was Experience Music Project at the time. Now it's Museum of Pop Culture. And
okay.
Noticed that a lot of his coworkers, they're very into music. They're all working in this rock and roll museum, but a lot of them had never been in bands before. And he said, okay, I'm going to start a band just for us who have never been in a band.
Nice.
And he had this revolving door of people who would come through and be in it for a while and come to a few rehearsals. But by the time he had booked the first show, nobody else wanted to actually go out and play in public.
Oh.
So he did that first show by himself. And then not too long after, he said, hey, Karen, we've been borrowing your cymbals and your drums all this time. Do you want to be in the band with me? I said, nice. Yeah, I've been waiting my whole life for this.
Why not?
And so here we were, these people in our 50s going out to bars and playing shows and getting to meet younger musicians and just having the time of our lives and recording an album and writing songs and just all kinds of cool stuff. So then when I started working on this book, it's like, well, I'm going to have this teenager who is like I was, that she's very introverted. When she was younger, she was bullied. She's become very good at not being noticed, but she has always wanted to be in a band. And she's a musician. I made her a songwriter. And then once she got her band started, I could just base off my own experience. This is what it's like to rehearse. This is what it's like to come up with a brand new song and try to teach it to people. This is what it's like to go out and play, and all the silly, dumb things that can happen with a live performance, all the things that can go wrong, but all the things that can go right as well. So it was just like, if I had gotten to do that when I was a teenager, or if I had been a teenager now, maybe it would be kind of like this. And it led to me writing songs, which was not something I had done a lot of. And because I was actively in a band
for those who are curious,
we were able to record all of those songs. So that means that my fictional band has a real.
I was just going to say, I think for those that are curious, and you have some of those songs on your website, don't you?
Yeah. I think I've got one embedded on the page for the book, and then there's a link to the Bandcamp page.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I love that.
Recorded 11 or 12 songs. So if I ever finish writing the third book, I'll have to write a bunch more songs too.
So all the songs that you have written are in all of the books so far?
Yeah, except for one, which would be in this third book. But yeah, the rest of them, any of the songs that are mentioned in the books, we've recorded.
Nice. How did you enjoy the writing the novel part compared to the writing the songs part? Because it's very different ways of writing, right?
Yeah, it is very different. Writing the book was a lot of fun. Those books were particularly fun to write. But writing the songs is fun in a different way, just because it's not a thing I was used to doing, but it meant I had to learn how. and I still don't feel like I know how to do it, but sometimes they just present themselves. You can write it so much more quickly. It doesn't take years usually to write a song. There's one I want to write, and I've drafted it a couple of times and I haven't been able to finish it. That one is taking years. But all of the other ones, it was like maybe a few minutes to a few hours, and then coming up with the music part of it was
the way like inspiration hits
kind of thing. Yeah. And just
Yeah.
realizing
And
that
writing a
these
novel.
these are dopey little punk rock songs.
Yeah. I was going to say, in a novel, you don't have to make everything rhyme. But in a song, like, you got to make sure these words are, yeah.
If you're going to make it rhyme, it has to actually work.
Yeah.
I mean, could you imagine if we all tried to make our novels rhyme and they were all just like nursery
Very long
rhyme?
poems.
That'd be fun, actually, maybe.
Edgar
try
Allan
that.
Poe. Go read
I
some
have
Edgar
never
Allan Poe.
done this,
Yeah,
but
right.
there are people who
Rhyming
write
stories.
there are people who write novels in verse. Mm-hmm. People
Really?
do that.
I did not know that.
I don't know how you'd write a whole novel and keep that. Yeah.
Yeah. Man.
Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah, I gotta look that up.
The Telltale Heart.
I know who he is.
Have you never read Edgar Allan Poe?
Me? Never. No. I should, though.
Are you kidding me? The Raven?
I know. It's... Yeah, I never read The Raven, unfortunately.
Are you...
Is our friendship on, like, the...
You are missing out.
God. You want stories in verse. Go read Edgar Allan Poe.
I'll do it.
What I've discovered recently, too, is that Edgar Allan Poe is way funnier than I realized when I was in high school or college.
When you get older. Yeah.
See, that was never part of our curriculum.
It's very satirical.
Yeah. I have a book. I don't know that I brought it with me because it's like a really nice leather-bound one. It's like this thick of his collections. It's one of my favorite books. I took a college class on Edgar Allan Poe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and all the allegories and the deep meanings and Anyways, go read Edgar Allan Poe. I'm just.
But it's not deep like, the curtains were blue meant something. It actually meant the curtains were blue.
No, it's deep. Like,
no?
My teeth are falling out. Like, why are your teeth falling out?
Okay.
Yeah. Like.
All right. Yeah, I'll have to look it up. All authors, if you're watching or listening to this.
If you've read Edgar Allan Poe, put your favorite story or poem down below.
Yes,
because
do
apparently Derek needs to be schooled in the fine art.
Put the links. I'll click them all.
Anyways.
We like to have fun here.
We do. So you're working on fantasy novel. What outside of writing keeps you motivated? Like when you get burned out or you're like, I can't write anymore, what do you do to kind of keep yourself going?
I read a lot. There's always at least one book that I'm making my way through. I have a big garden, like a big flower garden that is overgrown, and I can just go out there and rip out weeds and tidy things up and feel like I'm accomplishing something. And that is also a good time to just sort of let the brain run and get ideas and solve problems. Taking walks is good too, for the same reason.
Yeah, you mentioned the hike before we started recording.
You don't have to think about it. Yeah, you don't have to think about it. You just, so your brain can just work on something else for a while, and sometimes that solves whatever plot problem or whatever. Or I get a new idea of, this would make a great chapter, or this is where that should go, or this is how those two weird things connect that seem to be completely separate.
Now, I forget where you live, but are there many trails around where you live?
I live in Seattle, so...
Okay, yeah.
I mean, we walk a lot just in our neighborhood, but there are a lot of really nice forest parks and beach parks where we can go walk. Yesterday we were at Mount Rainier and did a nice walk in the woods that was steeper than my husband remembered, because it was a part of a trail that he walked almost 50 years ago. And he'd forgotten the entire steep part because, hey, he was 17 and in the best shape of his life at that point, so he didn't notice it. And we're both feeling it today. But it was good. It was
I've never
nice,
been,
cool day.
But I would love to go one day.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And you could definitely imagine dinosaurs in those woods.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I'm heading to Washington in 2 weeks to go see some friends. And we're going to go hike Mount Rainier. We're going to do a bunch of stuff. I'm excited.
Nice. Cool. And then you still got to come to Ontario sometime soon.
Yeah, I know.
Come see Michael and me.
I got like a big girl job that like I have to take hours off now, and I can't just be like, I'm gonna go and visit some friends. I have to plan it.
Just do it.
So,
No, we found out we recorded with
Spontaneous.
Libby's narrator, and I found out that he lives like 10 minutes from me.
yeah. It's a
So,
small
small world.
Small world.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm all the way over in Japan, so like bizarre.
Are any of your books audiobooks, or are you going to turn them into audiobooks in the future?
Yeah, last year we turned I think all 6 that were out last year are on Audible now with the virtual voice.
Awesome.
Because I realized I was not ever going to get around to recording them myself. And I kept adding more books, and it was only going to get worse.
Yeah.
And so my publisher said, hey, he had this opportunity to do that for cheap with the virtual voice. And I thought, well, as an accessibility thing, this will make them available now. And then if in the future I have the funds to hire somebody, then we can do a better job. But at least they're like this now, and people can listen to them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that the newest
cool.
one has been done yet.
Okay. Yeah. I know that, sometimes we like to hear our books. How did it feel even hearing it just being read in, even with the virtual?
It was a little weird, but it was not bad. I think that the virtual voices that were chosen for them sounded reasonable. The only part I didn't like was there wasn't any way for me to tell the voice how to pronounce the fantasy names that I made up.
Oh.
But there's, it's not that easy for me to tell readers how to pronounce them either. So maybe it doesn't matter that much. But yeah. I do include
I think about that.
a character list with pronunciation in the print book.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I think I had that with my superhero series, because there's the character of Valeria is how I pronounce her name. And then I've heard people say her name out loud as Valeria. And I'm like, close. Close enough.
Listen, fantasy novels, I just look at it and I'm like, that's the name. I don't pronounce it. I just recognize it. And people are like, I'm like, the main character begins with a V. I don't know the name. Yeah. And they're like, how do you not know the name? You read like 4 books. I'm like, yeah. I can't pronounce it. So like, it's blah, 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 blah. Every time I read it. That's it.
Yeah. I think there was someone that in my Dino Riff series, the first book, there's a Quetzalcoatlus. No, I was just gonna say that the person that was reading it couldn't say the name of the pterosaur of the Quetzalcoatlus, so she just called it Toothless.
Okay.
I'm like, hey, that's fair. They're kind of like a prehistoric dragon, so to speak.
So funny. What were you gonna say, Karen?
Oh, I was gonna say that with my fantasy novels, I deliberately tried to make the names pronounceable, but I realized afterwards, they're pronounceable, but they could be said a few different ways. And I know how I pronounce it. And when I tell people, oh, it's like this, they go, oh yeah, that's actually much nicer sounding. Like, yeah, why would anybody pronounce it the other way? But because English has no rules.
True.
It could be anything.
I feel like it really doesn't.
It is the hardest language.
Yeah. Names are hard though, because even my daughter, we named her name's Anya, and we wanted to spell it the Irish way, which is like A-I-N-E. And then I'm like, no one's going to pronounce that right. So we spelled it A-N-Y-A. Nobody pronounces it right anyways. They call her Anaya or Ania. Or like...
Ania.
It's none of those. It's none of them. Why? So even out in the real world, names are hard.
Yeah. I even when it came to like trying to think of a name for my cat Libby, my wife and I were having a hard time with that, and we found the Hebrew name of Libi, Libby, which means my heart.
Mm-hmm.
But then we just went with the English spelling of just Libby. So, but she stole our hearts, so that's why the name took. So
Stuck. I like that.
Stuck. I combined stuck with took.
It's stuck.
But do you have any animal characters in your books, like the trusty little comrade at all?
I don't have any pets right now. We used to have cats, and we realized which cats are long lived for pets. So we had the last set of cats we had, they lived 16 and 17 years. And our previous cats were similar, 17 and 18 years. And we realized if we get new young cats, we'll be going through this elderly cat thing when we are ourselves elderly. We didn't want to do that. So we're taking a break from pets and enjoying everyone else's. But yeah, I'm a lifelong cat person.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, I had dogs growing up my entire life, and then we finally got Libby officially 2 years ago, as of a couple days ago. And yeah, I keep saying I don't know how I lived without a cat for so long.
Yeah, I miss my cat. But we're not getting pets while we're over here because travel with them is insane. And it's not fair.
Yeah.
To the cat.
Technically, my Libby has a passport. She's from Poland.
But you don't have to worry about the military moving you, where they're just like,
that's true.
When it changes, too bad, leave your cat behind. Like,
that's true.
I know somebody who moved to Spain with 3 dogs and 2 cats.
Whoa!
And it was
expensive.
A real puzzle that they had to put together of, okay, how do we manage to travel with all of these animals?
Wow.
And they were able to, it worked out that they brought the cats in carriers with them to their seats, and the dogs had to be in the cargo hold, and all of them had to have special paperwork that had to be filed at exactly the right time, and they had to fly out of Vancouver because that airline was the only one they could find that would take that many dogs.
Oh.
But it all worked. But it sounded like...
I was just about to ask if they did it by plane or like by boat. History. Yeah, wow.
By plane.
Yeah, and that's not cheap.
Yeah. Vancouver to Spain. I wonder how long that flight would be. Because I fly to Vancouver almost every year if I can to visit friends, and it's only 4.5 hour, 5 hour flight there, but it's 4.5 coming back.
Mm-hmm.
But the other way around, I wonder.
I don't know. It takes me 13
I don't know. I think it was
from
long.
Tokyo to Seattle.
Yeah. Have you done much traveling in your life, Karen? Like, what kind of things do you pull from, even for inspiration, when it comes to your books?
Nearly everything is set either in the Seattle area or in a made-up land that's based on the Pacific Northwest. So like yesterday, I can go visit my analog sites and go, oh, here, look, here's the big rock in the middle of the forest, or here's the waterfall that's mentioned in the book. So I try to keep it all within a road trip's distance. Because I am not much of a traveler. I haven't been on an airplane in over 20 years. And I don't I don't really want to be. I think air travel has been so ruined. It just keeps getting worse. And like, you're not making me
sometimes the seats aren't that comfortable either.
But the seats aren't that comfortable, and the time in the airport is a big hassle, and flights get canceled, and there's always one more thing to make it worse. But I like a good road trip.
I
we try to find somewhere interesting. I've always wanted to. That's within a day's drive. Yeah.
Right.
We've
You've never done a
couple of
road
years
trip,
ago, we
Jared?
had a really nice trip
Well,
to
I mean,
Oregon.
oh, yeah.
Oregon. I want to go travel over on that side of the I'm from the East Coast, so I've never really been on the West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
I hear it's beautiful. I want to see the redwoods.
Oh, it's
really
there's lots to do and see. We tend to build ours around where's a nice wine region. So Washington and Oregon have lots.
Yeah, I would do the same thing.
Nice wine regions. So this year we went to Walla Walla.
Okay.
So that's when we just
I have no idea.
Find somewhere where we can hang out and be comfortable and walk to a good restaurant and then drive out in the country to the vineyards and do tasting.
Mm-hmm.
That's really nice. Like so relaxing.
The most I've ever done of a road trip is we went from where I live to Nova Scotia and Halifax on the east coast of Canada, because Ontario's relatively central. But, I mean, it only took us 2 days to get there, to drive. So, kind of like a road trip, but I would love to do an extended, like, drive across from Ontario, even hopefully one day to British Columbia, where my friends live. I would love to do that. Like, actually go through Alberta. There's beautiful lakes and forests, and I'm sure I haven't been to Alberta in years, but there is a really famous dinosaur museum there that actually was part of the inspiration for Dino Rift, where it's part of the Badlands. Like, you can go down and see the layers of sediment and everything.
Wow.
And I would love to go back there and just compare to when I was, I think, 17.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Do you have any places on your bucket list, though, Karen?
Not really. It's more like each year we go, where shall we go this year? And we keep them pretty close by, although we talk about going to the Grand Canyon or going to Bryce or Zion.
I would love to.
National parks loom large. We've been to Yellowstone a bunch of times, so we feel like we don't need to go to Yellowstone again, but maybe some of the other parks would be interesting to visit. On a more grand scale, I think Antarctica is very interesting. I don't know that I would ever actually get there.
Oh, yeah.
But, if it was all expenses paid and I didn't
Antarctica.
have to do the planning and somebody just said, here's your schedule and your tickets, and you show up, then I might consider it.
Yes.
Do you enjoy the cold, though? That's the question.
Not really. but with the right clothes, yeah.
Yeah, true.
Right clothes, right people.
Yep. Nice hot chocolate.
Right clothes, right people.
I wouldn't survive Antarctica.
Yeah.
Too cold. Well, and there's creepy conspiracies around Antarctica that I don't think I want to be involved in.
I haven't heard that.
Oh, I'll send you some.
No.
Okay. The Edgar Allan Poe. You're gonna have a
oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna come back for the next episode, and Libby's gonna be like, "Why is Derek so depressed?"
Yeah.
So you've shown the cover to one of your books. Who does your cover work? It's very, very flashy. I like it. It's very colorful.
All the fantasy novels have the same artist. Her name is Michaela Thorne, and so she did this. She also did this one. See that? Which when I go out to events, nice. That one basically sells itself.
Yeah, nice.
So she did that whole trilogy, and she's doing this whole prequel series. And we actually we started planning the covers way in advance because we realized, this is always the thing that ends up taking longer than we think it's going to. What if we had all 5 covers ready to go in advance? So perfect. I've seen a draft for the second and third ones, and I'm like, this is nice. They'll look like they belong together, but each one will have its own special thing.
Do we get to have a Novel Network exclusive sneak peek? It's okay if not. I'm just
I think I might have missed something there. What did you say?
Oh, I just asked if the Novel Network podcast would get like a sneak peek of the covers, and if not, that's okay too. I'm just being the silly me here.
I don't have anything on my hand that I could show, but
Okay, that's fair.
they're gonna be
All
really
good.
cool.
Nice.
I believe
Nice.
it because
Looking
that
forward.
one's really nice.
Yeah. So you mentioned events. How often do you get to do events? 'Cause I've only done 2.
I will. Okay, I will be doing. I've done 3 already, and I think there's like 6 or 7 more over the next few months. These are not solo events. I go out with a whole group of other authors, and we sell at street fairs
Oh, cool.
and festivals and holiday markets. Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and it's pretty successful. Sales have been a little slower this year than in past years, but I'm hoping that will pick up over the summer. But yeah, it's really fun. We'll have 4 to 6 authors in a booth, and we set up our displays. So we're each vending on our own, but we've got the other authors around us. So if somebody's talking to me and they say, well, what I really like is thrillers, I
I
can
love that.
say, oh, go talk to that author. Or I'm looking for a good memoir. Oh, go talk to her. Or I like murder mysteries. Oh, well, we have a murder mystery guy. So it ends up being like a little bookstore with a lot of variety.
That's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
great idea.
yeah. And you all still have
And we
enough
learn
space
each
at the
other's
table to
pitches
have your
pretty
own
well too,
little
so we
spot, though?
can sell each other's books.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah, everybody has their own
I think I would like that.
section with
that.
their display, and sometimes you end up with maybe more people than were planned, and you have to scrunch up, but we're pretty adaptable.
Nice. Very cool. How was it doing your first event? How did you feel as an event author newbie?
The first one, it was very weird. I was not really prepared for how to set up my display or how I wanted to do it. So I was really watching the other authors and going, okay, how do they set up their books? How do they talk about them? But it was encouraging enough. I had enough sales at that first one to be like, okay, I could do this. And so then I developed a pitch for each book. So if people came over, I could just rattle it off. This one is this. This one is this. This one is this. And answer questions if people have them, or just say, here, look at the cover, or take a bookmark if you're not sure. But it's a lot about learning how to talk about my own books in a brief and coherent way.
Right.
That's the
Yeah,
hardest.
the elevator pitch.
Yes.
Yeah. I saw a video of Libby's recently, actually, and I know you saw the comment on it. Yeah, yours.
Which one?
It's the one where I said I'm going to steal your idea because you have the whole list of all like the tropes and everything you're going to find in the book right in like a little plaque. And I totally want to do that for my next event.
Yeah.
Such a great idea.
I that was so helpful the last event I went to, because there's like groups of like young women who came up and just passed it around and were excited to see what
awesome.
tropes were in there. And I was like, I'm so glad I did that.
That's great. As soon as I saw it, I'm like, this is brilliant. Why haven't I thought of doing this?
Thanks.
Yeah. Libby's a pro at this by now. She's got more under her belt than me, and yeah, I learned a lot.
Thanks. I'm still learning. We're learning together.
Yeah, true.
So, is there anything that you would like our listeners to know about you, or where to find you?
Good to have colleagues
as
you can learn
get
from.
Ready to wrap up our hour. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a nice thing about the author world is we're not each other's competition. We're there to help each other.
Is my website. My home base online is my website, KarenEisenbrayWriter.com. And I've got all my books are there. I write a weekly band name blog. That's there. I have links to all of the other interviews and podcasts I've done on upcoming events. The music and other merchandise are linked there. So that's the home base for anything anybody might want to find.
Fantastic. I'm so
Where do you
glad that we
prefer
got
that
to
people?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Derek.
I was going to say, where do you prefer people find your books? Amazon, your website? Like, what's best for you?
If they go to my website, there will be a page for each book, and it tells all the places that they're available. So bookshop.org is a good choice. Barnes & Noble, Amazon, of course. Your local indie bookstores will order it. And my publisher also has an online shop where they're available, and I think there's a little discount if readers buy from there. So that's a really good place to go. Not a Pipe Publishing.
Awesome. I love that.
Perfect.
Very cool. Nice.
All right. Well, I'm glad that we got to have you back on because this was absolutely phenomenal. I know we had a lot of issues last time, so I'm excited that we get to share you and your story and all of your books and your really cool background with music.
Everything worked.
And I apologize if I was like cutting you off here and there. There's still like just a tiny little bit of a delay, but we're making it work.
Yes. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us today. You can find Karen on the links below. And next time I think we get together, we are talking about ARC readers and beta readers.
Yes, we are.
Alpha readers. I am so excited.
Me too.
Dude, so excited. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us, and we will see you next time.
Have a great day.